Let's be honest, if you stream 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, that's 20 hours live. But what people don't see is the other 10 to 20 hours behind the scenes. Clipping, editing, thumbnails, titles, Discord, DMs, sponsorship emails, analytics, social posts. That's easily 30 to 40 hours a week. For most creators, that's a full-time job. And you're doing it alone. You're not burnt out because you don't love streaming. You're exhausted because you're doing the work of a small company by yourself. Let's break this down. Number 1, you're managing more inputs than your brain is built for. During a live stream, your brain is juggling multiple inputs at the same time. You are making gameplay decisions every few seconds while reading chat messages that update constantly. You are monitoring audio levels, reacting to alerts and notifications, tracking viewer count, thinking about pacing, and managing your own speech in real time. Each of these is a separate cognitive demand competing for attention. Research in cognitive science suggests the average human can actively manage roughly 3 to 5 meaningful inputs at once before performance begins to decline. Most streamers are attempting to handle 8 to 12. That constant task switching is not harmless. It drains mental energy. After 3 to 4 hours, decision quality drops, reaction time slows, and emotional control weakens. Small frustrations feel bigger. Mistakes happen more often. This is not weakness, it is biology. AI reduces cognitive load by filtering and organizing incoming information before it reaches you. Instead of reacting to everything, you respond to what actually matters. The system highlights priority messages, flags potential risks, and surfaces meaningful signals. Less noise means more focus, and more focus leads to better performance, longer endurance, and a healthier creative rhythm. Number 2, the hidden 15 hours no one talks about. Let's say you stream 20 hours per week. That already demands preparation, focus, and recovery time. But if you're serious about growth, the work doesn't stop when the stream ends. You likely spend another 5 hours editing or clipping highlights, 3 hours writing and scheduling posts, 2 hours responding to DMs, 2 hours managing Discord conversations, and 3 hours reviewing analytics and performance metrics. That's 15 additional hours layered on top of your live time. Now you're working 35 hours per week. Most full-time jobs are 40, and that doesn't account for planning future content, sponsorship outreach, or technical troubleshooting. You didn't sign up to be an entire production team, but that's what streaming often becomes. AI changes the structure of that workload. It can automatically detect and generate clips from key moments, draft and schedule social posts based on stream highlights, summarize DMs into actionable categories, and track metrics with simplified performance insights. That doesn't remove effort. You still create, you still lead. What it removes is repetition, and repetition is what drains creative energy over time. When repetitive tasks shrink, focus expands, and growth becomes sustainable instead of exhausting. Number 3, viewer drop-off isn't personal. When you see your viewer count drop from 42 to 28 in a single hour, it can feel personal. It feels like something went wrong, like you said the wrong thing, picked the wrong game, or lost momentum. But live viewer behavior is volatile by nature. On most platforms, average live retention sits below 40%. That means more than half of viewers will leave within minutes. Even if the content is strong. People click in during breaks, between tasks out of curiosity, or because they're browsing. Leaving quickly is normal behavior, not a verdict on your value. The problem is perspective. When you judge performance based on a single session, you amplify emotional swings. AI analytics help correct that distortion. Instead of focusing on moment-to-moment fluctuations, the system can surface 30-day averages, trend lines, and retention patterns across multiple streams. It can show which segments consistently hold attention and which time blocks naturally dip. When you zoom out, patterns replace panic. You realize churn is expected. Spikes and drops are part of the ecosystem. Clarity reduces emotional stress. Data prevents unnecessary self-doubt and allows you to improve strategically instead of reacting emotionally. Number 4, toxic chat feels bigger than it is. One negative comment can outweigh 20 positive ones in your mind. That isn't insecurity, it's psychology. It's called negativity bias, the brain's tendency to prioritize potential threats over positive reinforcement. From an evolutionary standpoint, noticing danger mattered more than noticing praise. But in a live stream, that wiring can distort your perception. If your chat is moving at 100 messages per minute, even 5 toxic or aggressive comments can hijack your attention. Your focus shifts, your tone changes, your energy dips. Meanwhile, dozens of supportive messages pass by unnoticed. The experience becomes shaped by the loud minority instead of the silent majority. AI moderation can intercept that distortion before it reaches you. It can automatically filter harmful language, flag escalating tone, delay suspicious messages for review, or quietly remove spam. You don't even have to see it. The goal is not censorship, it's cognitive protection. Not because you're sensitive, but because your attention is limited. Attention is your most valuable performance asset. Protecting it protects clarity, emotional stability, and decision-making under pressure. And when your focus stays intact, your stream stays strong. Number 5. Streaming more doesn't always mean growing more. Many creators assume that streaming 6 hours instead of 4 will automatically accelerate growth. The logic feels simple. More time lived equals more opportunities to be discovered. But performance data often tells a different story. For many mid-sized channels, average engagement begins to decline noticeably after the 3-hour mark. Chat slows, viewer retention drops, interaction becomes less dynamic, fatigue plays a major role, mental stamina decreases over time, especially when you're multitasking under pressure. As energy dips, pacing slows, reactions become less sharp, humor feels forced instead of fluid, and because energy directly influences retention, audience behavior mirrors that decline. AI analytics can help identify your optimal performance window. By analyzing engagement spikes, chat velocity, viewer retention curves, and emotional intensity patterns, the system can suggest an ideal stream length tailored to you, not generic advice. It may reveal that your strongest engagement consistently happens between hour 1 and hour 3, with diminishing returns afterward. More hours are not always better. Better hours are better. Sustainable growth comes from maximizing performance during peak energy, not stretching output past its natural limit. Number 6, breaks feel risky, but they're necessary. You might think, if I take 2 days off, I'll lose momentum. That fear is common, especially in fast-moving platforms where consistency feels tied to visibility. But long-term performance data tells a different story. Creators who maintain sustainable schedules tend to grow more steadily over a 12-month period than those who overextend, burn out, and disappear for weeks at a time. Short bursts of intensity can create spikes, but inconsistency erodes trust and audience habits. Streaming while exhausted also lowers quality. Energy drops, patience thins, creativity narrows. Over time, that subtle decline compounds. Viewers may not consciously recognize it, but engagement reflects it. Sustainability protects both your performance and your presence. AI scheduling systems can analyze historical audience data to identify when your viewers are most active and most engaged. Instead of streaming 5 random days, you might discover that 3 strategically chosen sessions generate higher retention and stronger interaction. Fewer days, higher impact. Sustainability beats intensity. Consistency fueled by recovery outperforms non-stop output fueled by pressure. Long-term growth is built on rhythm, not exhaustion. Number 7. Emotional energy is a finite resource. You can fake energy for a while. You can push through fatigue, turn up enthusiasm, and force momentum even when you're drained. But after 3 to 4 high-intensity sessions per week, emotional exhaustion begins to accumulate. Research on performance-based professions, teachers, broadcasters, customer-facing roles, shows that sustained emotional labor significantly increases fatigue, especially when individuals must regulate tone, suppress frustration, and maintain positivity for extended periods. Streaming is emotional labor. You are constantly managing your reactions, sustaining engagement, moderating conflict, and projecting presence. Even when you enjoy it, it requires regulation. Over time, that invisible effort compounds. The result isn't just physical tiredness, it's emotional depletion. AI tools that handle repetitive interactions, filter negativity, answer recurring questions, and manage routine engagement reduce that invisible load. They don't remove your personality, they protect it. When your energy is preserved for meaningful reactions, genuine laughter, strategic decisions, and real connection, authenticity actually increases. Sustained performance is not about constant output. It's about protecting emotional bandwidth so that when you show up fully. Number 8, you don't need motivation. You need leverage. Motivation fades, systems scale. Relying on inspiration alone is unstable. Some days you feel driven, other days you don't. But growth built on systems doesn't depend on mood, it depends on structure. When AI transforms one 4-hour stream into 5 short clips, 1 polished highlight video, 3 optimized social posts, and a concise recap, you've multiplied your output without multiplying your effort. The stream becomes a source asset that fuels multiple channels automatically. That is leverage. Instead of trading more hours for more visibility, you design a workflow where each hour produces layered returns. Your live performance feeds your content engine. Your content engine feeds discovery. Discovery feeds growth. And the loop continues without requiring constant expansion of your schedule. Leverage reduces burnout because progress is no longer tied strictly to time spent working. It's tied to how intelligently your work is structured. When systems carry the repetitive weight, your role shifts toward creativity, strategy, and leadership. And that shift is what makes long-term growth sustainable instead of exhausting. Number 9, the fear of falling behind. There are over 9 million active streamers globally. That number can feel overwhelming. It creates the illusion that growth is purely a volume game. Who streams the longest, posts the most, shouts the loudest. But the reality beneath that surface is different. Only a small percentage of creators use structured analytics, workflow automation, or intelligent support systems. Most rely almost entirely on effort. Effort matters, but effort without structure caps quickly. And when you build systems early, tracking retention trends, optimizing scheduling, automating clip generation, filtering cognitive load, you create compounding advantages. Your decisions become data-informed instead of reactive. Your content multiplies without multiplying exhaustion. Your consistency improves because it's supported, not forced. In competitive environments, small structural advantages create large long-term gaps. You don't need to outwork millions of creators. You need to outdesign them. Smarter beats louder, structured beats scattered, and over time, structure turns momentum into inevitability. Number 10, burnout is a system problem. Burnout doesn't mean you're incapable. It doesn't mean you lack discipline, talent, or resilience. It usually means your workload has outgrown your support structure. When creative output is constant, audience interaction is nonstop, and performance pressure never pauses, while systems, delegation, or automation remain minimal, exhaustion becomes predictable. When input is constant and support is zero, collapse isn't dramatic, it's gradual. Energy dips, patience shortens, ideas feel harder to access. What once felt exciting starts to feel heavy. That's not failure, it's overload. AI is not a cure-all. It won't replace rest, boundaries, or self-awareness, but intelligent systems can remove unnecessary weight. They can filter noise, automate repetition, surface clarity, and handle background processes that silently drain attention. They create space where there was previously friction, and when the weight decreases, something important happens. Your creativity returns, your thinking sharpens, your presence feels lighter. You stop surviving the process and start enjoying it again. Support doesn't replace talent, it protects it. If you feel tired after every stream, if you feel anxious watching the numbers fluctuate, if you still love gaming but hate the pressure wrapped around it, you are not weak, you are overloaded. Streaming today demands performance, analytics, content production, moderation, marketing, and emotional regulation all at once. That weight adds up. When exhaustion shows up, it's not a character flaw. It's a signal that your output has outpaced your support. The future of streaming is not more grinding. It's not squeezing extra hours out of an already stretched schedule. It's building smarter systems that protect your focus and multiply your effort. It's filtering noise, automating repetition, designing workflows that work even when your motivation dips, build support around your creativity instead of stacking pressure on top of it. Protect your energy like it matters because it does. Energy fuels presence, presence fuels connection. Connection fuels growth. If you want to grow without burning out, subscribe and stay in the shadows.